Yo, what up, what up? Welcome to another episode of Action and Ambition. I'm your host, Andrew Metal. Today's guest is a hip-hop legend. Damon Dash co-founded Rocawear Records with Jay-Z. He has since gone on to help build a bunch of other artists' careers. He's an executive producer, he's a businessman, he's also a screenwriter. He has a new film coming out called Honor Up, and it's executive produced by Kanye West. Check it out. He drops a ton of awesome personal business and life advice. Peace. You obviously had some principles that you lived and died by, like when you're in the streets and like the things you were doing. And so what I want to talk to you about today, amongst a million other things, but one of the things I want to talk about is like what principles that you took from the streets that you applied to business that you still use today.
See, the thing about the street is, you know, it's a defining circumstance because there's laws and rules and principles that aren't written, but you still sign on to them. And it's like an agreement amongst the people that are in this particular game. And if you violate the rules on any level of this game, the repercussions are death. My struggle going from being in an extreme circumstance to the corporate scenario was there is no honor, there is no integrity. Almost, it's all about the money. You know, it's not about the survival. You know, there's no pride in not cheating. You know, the thing about corporate is it's not about emotion, it's not about love, it's all about money. And to me, money is the ultimate test, because I've seen some very honorable people that live by the rules in the street completely violate all the principles from the street as it relates to corporate. Now imagine in the street somebody giving you some money, you don't pay him back, and you go buy cars and you go and, you know, live the vida loca, and you just don't acknowledge the debt. Right. What would happen? You'd have to get punished, or else how could I come outside? Right. But I've had to sustain that, you know what I'm saying? So I have to look the other way, usually with nerves. I have to take the most abuse. I've been around killers my whole life. I've never killed, but I've known how to be around them, and they've never disrespected me, not one. But if I could tell you the amount of nerds that have disrespected me, that I've had to look the other way, the average person, if he doesn't have that therapy or that mentality, going from one to the other, will end up in jail. Because these people are playing by different rules. But also as it relates to, you know, the street, the principles are simple. You buy something at a price in volume, weight, and you break it down and sell it. And your money comes from your consumer. So because of the way the world is structured now with the internet, see, before, if you wanted to sell something to somebody, there was a middleman you had to go through. You had to basically pay for real estate to sell your goods. So whether your goods sold or not, you had to pay for that real estate. So now that there's an internet, you basically don't need a middleman. There's a direct-to-consumer relationship that I've been knowing about for a long time, that I want to exercise, where I don't need a middleman, where I don't have to deal with people that don't have the principles that I have. And as a result of me sustaining so much disrespect, I had to really look into myself and say, do I want to sustain this disrespect to get ahead in their world? Or am I going to live by my honor and principles and get ahead in the world that I consider wealthy, like love and respect and being a real man and looking in the mirror or taking a shower and feeling good when I'm alone about what I did and earning on my own. As a real man, I don't like getting given anything. I don't believe I should have to be nice to get somebody to give me something. Right. If my product is good, no matter how I act, you will pay for it. You know, and that's another principle that I learned in the street. When people want their drugs, they'll line up, they'll get told what to do, they'll be yelled at, they'll be talked to. Get in the back of the line. I'm only taking 20s. Don't even come in here with $1. That kind of thing. No one's nice to that. The drug dealer don't have to be nice. His work got to be good. Right. And that applies exactly in real business. As long as your work is good, people will come. When your work isn't good, you have to have gimmicks, right? So in the street, you got 2 for $5 and $3 bottles, chicken bags, but usually the work's not good, right? So in this world, when you overcompensate, when you don't have good work, you overcompensate with attention. You start to become like, you sell celebrity. That's what you leverage. So now your game becomes going outside, being a slave to what everybody else thinks. And that's another rhythm that I didn't want to abide by as well. Like, I wasn't going to be about the celebrity. All I want to do was be about good product, good work, be respectful, make an honest living, and work with honest people. And the internet has made it really possible to do that because, again, you can make your product, you can promote your product, you can sell your product, you can collect the data and have that relationship direct with your consumer.
Maybe let's talk about the products, and then let's talk about some of the tactics that you guys are using to push through the internet, which I think, let's talk about the products first, because I think it'd be interesting to hear some of the different things you have going on.
I'm lucky enough to have built the brand years before the internet.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm lucky. And because of the platform, meaning the internet, whatever I put out, I just keep hitting the internet hard with visuals.
Yeah.
But I've always made visuals. I've always done pictures. You remember I started with the movie, Streets is Watching. I've always made that, so it's perfect for me. I love making visuals. I love making authentic experiences because I see them, and that's what people buy into. The aspirational lifestyle, which is mine, that is real, not a contrived one. So all you gotta do is run the cameras. You understand? I don't have to pay for the marketing, and then I just keep hitting you with the visuals. You got Instagram, you have Twitter, you have Facebook, you have YouTube, you have email. There's so many ways to talk directly to people. Once you have a friend, a person that you've got their email, that's your friend. Y'all have a relationship. Every time I want to talk to you, I can. Without saying anything. I can just press a button. So when you're in on your email, I see those fucking Domino's. I don't eat Domino's at all. I'm vegan. You know what I'm saying? Or plant-based. Every day I get a Domino's email. No matter whether I eat Domino's or not, I know about Domino's. It's that easy. I see it for a lot. Well, I do the same thing. I'm gonna hit you with content all day, every day once I got you. And I believe if I have someone that believes in me, they'll buy more than one product. So what I'm selling right now, first and foremost, is information. I'm not selling it, I'm giving that away. I want people smart. You know why? Because then they'll realize how smart I am. They'll realize what I'm doing. So education is important so that they can help themselves and they can help me help them and I can help them help me, period. We should all work together. But the things that I'm selling to monetize, I make liquor now, Dusko Wine and Spirits, and I've been making liquor. We started with Armadale before everyone else did it. And again, I don't want to approach it like, don't leverage my celebrity for the business. Like that's a business within itself. Being a celebrity, bringing attention to it, and that person will give you a part of their brand, and then you call yourself an owner. No, I enjoy the business. So I enjoy the process of making the liquid, designing the bottle, marketing it, putting it out, just doing it, and then owning it 100% so I can make the mistakes without hurting anyone but myself. Deciding how much debt I want to put on the company. That's another thing that I do now that I didn't do before. The other model is, for corporate is endless money, right? And it's a formula. You can lose a certain amount till you win. And that's what big corporate business is. You can lose how is Netflix $20 billion in debt, but they still function? Because they got the money to lose. Their business plan is probably to lose. They got it. But when you're an independent, you don't have that money to lose till you win. You feel what I'm saying? You count every dollar. There's timing issues. You have to make sure you got your company funded. So you put a lot of debt or a lot of overhead on your company. When your company's not doing well unexpectedly, like every company expectedly does, you still got to pay your staff. And what ends up happening is you have to sell your company to cure your debt, and you lose control of your dream. You only own a quarter of it. Like, look at Harvey Weinstein. How could a man have his name on a company, call himself the chairman, say it's his, and get fired from it? Because he ain't putting up the bread. So if you don't put up the bread, you really not the boss. I don't care what somebody tells you. It's not your dream, it's theirs. You got to act accordingly. You can't mess up, period. And he deserves what he get. But my point is, you can still get fired. My scenario, can't nobody fire me no matter what I do. Because it's mine.
Okay, let's talk about this scenario because I think it's a great scenario. You got a kid from the streets coming up, and they're trying to make it in corporate, but they don't necessarily have...
He's not going to make it in corporate. He's going to have to create his own corporate. He's going to have to buy things like he did in the street, like a T-shirt, right, for $5 and go sell it for $20. And the reason why he can do a lot of it is because of the internet. He can do it on his Instagram or on his website.
Got it.
Period.
Right.
And that's it. It's a flip. There's no difference. The only difference between corporate and independence is corporate doesn't use their own money. It's always a fund, another fund, and another fund that throws into another fund. And then the person that finds all that money gets a fee and acts like it's his. You know what I mean? You know the game. That's corporate. Corporate is a facade. It's not yours. You can't give it to nobody. You can't give it to your family. You know what I'm saying? A true man wants to make his life easier for his children, not himself. Right? So I can just have a job where I get fired or I die. I'm done. My kids don't get it. I'm gonna hustle for a pension. Hell nah. And the company sell, I don't get nothing. What you working for if it's not yours? How hard you gonna really work for it if you don't own it? Think about it. You're working for a paycheck. You're gonna do at least the amount of work as possible unless you really believe there's a future in it.
Right.
That's why with everyone I work with, and you can ask anybody in there, as soon as I get it in, I know that they got the ideals and the principles. If you help me, I'm gonna help you. My thing is I make people independent. I don't make them dependent. So if you notice, all the people I put on, they still doing it.
Yeah.
So you got Jay-Z, you got Kevin Hart, you got Lee Daniels, you got Rachel Roy. I didn't teach them how to be dependent on me. I taught them how to rob me. I taught them how to cut the connect out. Basically, I'm the dumbest person in the world if I'm corporate. I teach you how to get it without me, and I'm getting paid to be the middleman.
Yeah.
So once I teach you that you don't need a middleman, you get rid of it.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at you for that. That's why I taught you, because once I make your dream come true, I'm off to make my own. I don't want to sit around in your pocket all day. Now my dream is to do the Dash Diabetes Network and bring awareness to something that I feel people look at as a weakness, but I look at as a strength because I have it. And I wouldn't be able to do that unless I was the boss. No, I couldn't get no one that wasn't diabetic to talk about diabetes. So now I could do it. And because I have the wherewithal, you know, I have television networks and I've been having them for a long time, I can do production at a certain price point without paying someone else to do it. So I made my own network. I have the ability to identify a sponsor because I'm not dumb. You know, I've been doing this, so I got a sponsor. You know, I know how to distribute the information. I've been building apps and working with people to develop these certain apps for years. So I have an app, Dash Diabetes. You don't have to like it, but if you do, you can get it. You can get it from Amazon. You can get it from iTunes. We ain't got to talk to no corporate ain't come in this equation yet. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Period. That's why I got to go to Netflix when I got my own content. Dame Dash Studios, same thing. Dame Dash Studios app. Go right on your phone, that spot in your pocket, and just order it. And you can watch it from any phone screen, any screen. It does not matter. You can see all the information. So I don't need anybody involved. It's just about me to make it so good that people want it. And marketing is easy because, again, it's so easy to do a Facebook ad, to target. Like before they do an ad, you'll pay a whole lot of money, maybe like, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars for an ad that only maybe like 5% of the people that walk through are gonna see because they don't care.
Right.
With Facebook, you could target, or these ads, these targeted ads, diabetes, Rockefeller, Dame Dash. That pops up on your Facebook, then I know to send you an ad. And once I send you the ad, not only can you just look at it and want it, you can press a button and buy it right there. It's too easy. So again, with the principles of the street, me coming from the street and hustling before the internet, doing all the things that everyone else is doing now without the internet, I did it without it. Can you imagine what it's looking like for me? I could do everything from the pool. And basically that's what I've been doing. And the key is understanding what your wealth is. A lot of people you talk to consider wealth money. They consider being famous and wealthy money, but not happiness. To me, wealth is happiness. Being able to spend time with your children, being able to have enough power where you can architect your life, where you can move when it's convenient for your children. I don't only work when my children are in school or when I'm not with them. I've been able to carve that out. A certain time on a certain days, they know, everybody knows it's Tallulah time. I'm able to raise my children, and I missed that before because my principles were different. That did change me. Being an adult and looking at one child not have his father there like he should. I'm still raising him. You understand what I'm saying? He's the oldest. To me, if I don't spend the parenting time with my children, I'm broke. If my kids are unhappy, I'm broke. If I don't have a woman that I'm making happy, that I'm taking care of, and she's unhappy, I'm broke. I don't care how much money you have. If you're not happy, you're cracked. And you can see all of these fucking rich motherfuckers killing themselves and depressed and all the problems. I'm like, and also it's great when you come from the hood, nothing's a problem. Yesterday my hard drives crashed. I've been editing for 3 fucking years, bro. 3 years. We finally got to the last cut, and we put it on this. We put the the last cut on the same hard drive that everything's on, and edited that day, didn't back it up. The shit crashed. I was done, bro. I was going to mix. You feel? Edited. People were crying in here. Right? Now you ask her. I was chilling. I was telling you, this is a test. It's gonna be all right. I'm looking at a movie about everything I just came from, so I'm like, this is the funniest shit in the world.
It's ironic.
That this is a problem. So that's wealth, laughter. Like, you know, that's what it was when I'm around all these people that have perceived success. I see them so unhappy.
Because their principles are...
Well, if you're more happy on a red carpet with strangers than in your house with your own family, if you're more worried about what other people you don't know think about you, rather than the people that you love think about you, something's not right.
Yeah,
and then you wonder why you're unhappy. You know why? People tell you you're winning, but you feel like you're not, but you still continue to do what other people perceive as winning.
Yeah.
If you think you're winning, but you feel like you're losing, then you're losing.
Yeah.
If you feel like you're losing, you lost.
You've been setting trends before trends even were trends, you know, and I think like a lot of people are always trying to figure out like how to get ahead of the trends, get ahead of the market, get ahead of the pack before like anyone is even there. Like, how have you been able to do that in your career? Because you've done some amazing shit, like from Rockefeller to what you're doing now. To, like, how have you been able to like not just see trends, but see like who's gonna be the one, like who's gonna be the artist that hits next, that like nobody else can see, but you've been able to have the vision. Like, how have you been able to like hone in on like that sort of thing?
Well, I think because I came from such an authentic circumstance that I could just recognize real things, and that's what people like to be a part of, you know, authentic.
Yeah.
And really, what controls the world is what happens in the street, because people are on the concrete every day. It's where it's the most competitive, and also it's where people showcase or try to bring attention to themselves to compensate for what they don't have. So like when you in the street, you buy your car for a crib before you get a crib, because you know the more people think you got money, the more work comes to you. And your perception gets bigger. It's that kind of thing. It's just competitive. They have the car, the clothes, the dance, everything, the people, the swag, all of that. So I think with the younger, with like the Wiz Khalifas and all that generation, the cool kids and all that, it was because my son was just a dude that was on the internet. My nephews, they kept me affiliated with what was going on, because I'm a person that listens. I'm not gonna think because I'm an adult I know more. I think I'm gonna know less because I'm more removed than an actual circumstance. Like my world is like a bubble. I'm in Fantasy Island right now and enjoying it. Like I came from a very extreme place. You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciate the difference. You know what I'm saying? But I can see when someone's authentic because I come from authentic. You understand what I'm saying? You can recognize when somebody's real if they have the ideals. And the fact that I've been around people that have made it in the industry, I know when they have what it takes to get there. It's usually that discipline. You know what I'm saying? It's not even a talent. It's the discipline and the confidence in your point of view. What I'm doing, if it's gonna be something either I did first or that no one else has the guts to do and look good doing it.
Yeah.
But why would you want to be like somebody else?
Right.
So that's another reason why, because what I do with artists that I believe have what it takes to make it there is try to give them all those independent ideals and tell them how to do it on their own and understand how to leverage their own celebrity. Like what I've taught everyone is how to leverage your own celebrity. Like people are putting their products next to you because you're famous. So why don't you just make the product? That's what we should do. Don't make somebody famous, we make ourselves famous. In the street, I was never someone that really worked for somebody. I was always someone that hit somebody with some work. So I don't want no one to hit me with no work. I don't want to work for nobody.
Right.
I never have. I'd rather, be exposed. That's another thing. In the street, you have to put up your own money. You get it back quick and you have to keep investing. I really don't know any other way. It's called flipping. So I apply that in corporate. I just flip. Like, it's just more people to talk to and it's legal.
Yeah.
It's just more things to flip. So I'm gonna flip this liquor. I have a streaming service, Damon Dash Studios. That's what I was talking about before. You don't have the distribution. I created it, Damon Dash Studios.
Yeah.
You get it on the app. You can see the content. I ain't got to worry about the distribution.
Right.
So I'm flipping that. I make a movie, make some money, make a bigger movie, make some money, make a bigger movie. Okay? Once you start doing stuff that no one's doing, opportunities present themselves that you can't see. So it just makes logical sense. The question you asked is how I balance all those things is, number one, everything that I do revolves around what I love. I don't do nothing I don't love, period. Nothing I don't love. So it doesn't feel like work. So when I'm editing a movie for 16 straight hours, like what else would I be doing?
Yeah.
I love it. It doesn't feel like work. It's like asking a basketball player, like, yo, you really mad you get, millions of dollars to play something or to do something you would do for free?
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the trick.
You got your movie coming. You got 2 books. You got 2 books. So 2
movies done. The List, starring Brian White, Claudia Jones. Claudia Jordan. I'm bugging. Claudia Jordan, Columbus Short, Kiaria, Nick Totoro. I'm in it, and then Honor Up, and that one's executive produced by Kanye.
And you get to push those directly through all your channels, right?
Honor Up,
what's
right
the
as of right now, Honor Up's coming out theatrically.
Oh yeah, okay.
He's coming out theatrically through Grindstone Lionsgate.
Okay.
You know, and my thing is you license it to them. You know,
Yeah.
you make it, you license it, y'all monetize it, and you get it back.
Yeah.
And now I got catalog.
Got it. Right.
You know, catalog is residual income.
Right.
See, the thing is, you got to think about your future at all times. What do you want to look like in 10 years? What do you want your day to look like? So at 35, I'm like, at 45, I'm definitely not going to be trying to be getting up and going to an office and running behind artists. I'd rather be sitting by the pool.
Yeah.
So then I started investing, and that's called art detecting. It didn't take like overnight, but I had to know what I wanted and had to visualize it to make it happen. Be able to also work on me. Like I was sick of investing in other people.
Yeah.
Making money off other people, making other people's dreams come true, and then it has to be a beef when I don't feel like hanging around no more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It got to look like it's, me or whatever. Fighting for people that just, the crazy thing is the more you fight for people, the more people try to make it look like you're fighting for the wrong reasons. And I don't care what people think, so it doesn't matter. But if I'm going to do all that, I was like, if I'm going to fight, I'm going to do that for me.
Right.
I'm going to do that for my family. I'm going to do that for people that are going to give back. See, there's givers in this world, and there's takers in this world. So when you get givers together, it's just a love fest.
Yeah.
When you get a giver with a taker, it's a lopsided relationship, and usually the taker always feels like they deserve more and don't give shit and fuck shit up. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I've been able to art detect it down to that, like the kind of people I want around me, the way I want the intent of the people around me.
Right. Have you always created your 10-year vision, or is that something new that you just started doing? Yeah, always.
Always.
So you always knew, it was like crystallized in your mind, like exactly like where you were going to be 10 years from where you were?
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. You have any tricks or tips that you can help?
You have to, again, visualize what you want.
Yeah.
And work toward it. If you don't have a script, it's kind of hard to shoot the movie.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
You write everything down?
Sometimes.
Or is it just in your brain?
Well, I have a whiteboard. There's whiteboards everywhere, so yeah, I write a lot of shit down. I'm always writing things down, but I usually know it. I usually know it so well because I write it down so much.
Yeah.
So like that's why when I talk to people that in my staff, if they don't know the plan, that means they haven't been working on the plan.
Yeah.
Because if you're doing something over and over again, you're gonna remember it regardless.
Yeah.
It's the 9 times factor. That's what I notice with people is you got to tell them 9 times, the average. So if I could tell somebody 1 time, I know they're a keeper.
We were talking in there about the code. A lot of people don't know the code.
They don't understand the code.
But the employees and your staff, like, I'm sure at some level they understand the code. Because you probably don't associate yourself with people that don't understand the code, right? So, like,
well, if I'm dealing
it's an unspoken code that you and I both know.
I have a little less. It's like a man code.
Yeah.
With women, I think it's all right for a woman to be emotional, and it's a man's job to make sure they feel safe.
Yeah.
Period. I believe in women being independent and all that and strength, but again, as a man, I got nuts. I got testosterone. I'm supposed to be able to be cool. Girls have more estrogen, so they're supposed to be emotional. It's a chemical thing.
Yeah.
So I have more tolerance.
Right.
If I see a girl reacting, I have no problem with being sensitive and calming them down. If I see a dude reacting, it's like, yo, pull your skirt up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
sure.
you got a skirt, you can keep it on. You know what I mean? But I don't want to see a dude wear a skirt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I have a way more tolerance for that. I have no expectation of dudes these days because I have so much expectation of dudes.
Yeah.
And I know what I came from. So again, with the therapy, I had to learn to look the other way and to know that not everybody came from that extreme circumstance and not to judge people so hard.
Yeah.
But make choices and know what to invest in as it relates to their character.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I just don't have that much. I just keep them away from me.
You read?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah,
I gotta
what are
read
your
all day
favorite
because of
books right now?
scripts.
Yeah.
Culture Vulture is my book. But
there it is.
But I've read all those books. The Seed of the Soul was big for me. Kadada, long time ago, this is in the Aaliyah days, gave me that book, and then I ended up giving it to like all my homeboys. And it was crazy because, in Rockefeller days, you think we talking about all this gangster shit, and we sitting around talking about karma and your soul and the evolution of your soul.
That's cool.
We got into that for a minute, which was why I was really surprised at how things rolled out because everyone's conscious of karma. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we did a lot of that, a lot of soul stuff.
Yeah.
And then like Biggs used to read those CEO books, and he'd give me every now and again I'd read one, but I always felt it was shit I already knew.
Yeah.
I think the best way to learn business is to do business. To read a book about it is cool.
Agreed.
To get the ideals and shit, like there are things that again it just gives me like
Is it solidify the things that you already knew?
Like validate,
right?
like I do that. And it's innate. It's like, you know, some people are born bosses, not everybody is.
Yeah.
Because a boss has to care about other people before themselves.
Yeah.
You know, that's what a boss's job is. You have to pay your staff before you pay yourself. If you're the real boss, you put up the money. You don't make no money for years, and you're paying out. So you're always worried about other people. That's why you sell your company to cure your debt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're always thinking like that. And not a lot of people want that responsibility.
Yeah.
You know, not a lot of people want to have to worry. A lot of people want to just show up and, you know, have the ability to get fired.
Yeah. Right.
You know, some people want to be nice to avoid work. That's the thing. Like, I ain't gonna never be nice to avoid work. I ain't gonna never be nice to somebody or tolerate something to avoid just working harder. So if I can't get along with someone because our principles are different, so that means I just got to work a little harder to get past them. So that makes me do it myself. So like when I used to be beefing with the Weinsteins, I like, yo, they make indie flicks. I'm not making movies with them. They're not making movies with me. We don't get along.
Right.
I'm gonna have to make my own to get that. And then that's when I started to be, instead of having them cut the check, I became them. You understand what I'm saying? And that's when I started to empower people like Lee Daniels. You know what I'm saying? And the people I wanted to, and tell the stories I thought needed to be heard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now I'm investing in myself. That's why you kind of have to be conscious of what you do, because, you know, you might not care what happens to you, but if things you love hurt, that hurts you. So you have to make sure that's protected.
Right. I
So maybe you can't get me. I don't even care if you get me. What would really hurt me is to get, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you got to make sure you live a right life. Once I had daughters, I changed everything.
Yeah.
You know, it was just like I couldn't treat a woman any way other than I wanted my daughter treated.
Right.
You know, I didn't want my daughter to ever tolerate or look at me do something to think that that was all right to have it done to her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to become really, really conscious of what you do.
And how do you like instill some of your principles, that your values, your morals, those principles that you live by? How do you instill those into your kids?
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. That's my biggest struggle.
Yeah.
You know, it is. It's really hard because you work that hard to spoil them.
Right.
But then you know, it's crazy that when someone has no problems, what they consider a problem.
Right.
It's like, God damn, that is not a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, you kidding me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, and that's the thing, because you came from a certain place that created the values that you had.
Right.
But you gave
I'm
them
happy
this
that
life now.
it's like, it's kind of hard because I don't have so much compassion for it.
Yeah.
I'm desensitized to a lot of people's shit because I've gone through some really extreme things.
Right.
You know, like, nigga, you lose your girl, there ain't nothing worse than that, bro.
Yeah.
That shit, and that's the shit you don't be expecting. You know the things, you don't ever think you're gonna lose your girl. That blindsided me. I didn't put that in my script.
Yeah.
After that kind of pain, it's kind of hard for somebody to tell me they hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At least a man.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I did that shit and I did that. I cried in front of people, but I still went through and lived my life.
Yeah.
You know, I still stood up. So, you know, as a man, sometimes you gotta work, you gotta move wounded to where you don't feel it. That's what men do.
Yeah.
You don't let a paper cut stop you. It's hard when someone, that's why you have to align like when you get with a woman or your soulmate or whoever it is, if y'all love the same stuff, y'all always together. So from Malia, I learned, like, fuck that. When the next girl I get with, if I ever fall in love, I'm gonna make it where we can never be separated. We work together.
That's my girl and I, same. Like, we do everything, we're best friends, and yeah, she let me, like, realize, like, that you can love again. You know, like, so that was cool. It's almost like my wife at that time, like, gave me the gift to live life again.
Right.
You know,
exactly.
It's crazy. But
And appreciate it.
Appreciate it, yeah. And it made me that much more of a hustler, made me way more stronger, made me like the man I am now.
Because you're not scared of nothing. You already saw the dragon.
Right, exactly.
Once you see the dragon for me was really my mom. My mom's died when I was young, so I wasn't scared of nothing after that.
Yeah.
I was like, whatever, if I can get there quicker, it's okay, I'll be with my mom's.
Yeah.
So nothing scared me.
Yeah. And how old were you?
15.
15, damn.
And then once that happened, it was like I was a monster, I was a beast. It made me a savage.
Yeah.
Because I had no feelings. I already didn't give a fuck too much, but then I really did.
You think that defined, like, a lot of your career even?
Absolutely, because I was dependent on my mom. She
Yeah.
spoiled me. You know what I mean? Like, she gave me everything I wanted, and that was one of my concerns. I was like, well, what the fuck, who's gonna spoil me now?
Yeah.
The next day, I was on the stoop, hustling.
Yeah.
Like, for real. They was like, well, you know, I'm serving. They like, yeah, how you? My mom's died. When? Yesterday. What you doing out here? I gotta get this money now.
Yeah.
I ain't got no more moms.
Right.
My pops he ain't doing all that. You know what I'm saying? So I had to get on my good foot.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But so I honestly believe if that didn't happen, I definitely wouldn't have done the things I've done.
Yeah.
100%. I'd have been dependent on. I'd probably still be living in the house.
Yeah. It's crazy, huh? Like, it's crazy that, like, I guess that's, like, such a major defining moment of your life, though, because, I mean, shit, that's your mom, you know? So,
Pain defines you.
Yeah, I agree.
It defines you. It's the way you deal with it. But, you know, God doesn't give you anything. He's testing you.
Yeah.
unless he believes you can handle it. He does not give it to you unless he thinks you can handle it. I almost think when I read these books, you almost pick the pain. The more pain you get, the quicker you evolve. Because you got to get smart. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. It's like it's a gift and a curse. You can sustain the pain you wouldn't look forward to. I wouldn't have chosen it. To get to this point in my life of clarity, I would not have chosen the pain. But once I'm done, I did it. I'm not gonna cry over it all day. Now it just made me like a monster. Like, again, I've gone through things that make me have no fear. The only thing I do fear is fear. Because when I'm scared of something, I visualize it because my power is strong like that. So if I'm scared of something, I gotta let me stop being scared before it happens. I'm scared of that. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to talk to, well, I can't do that. But we're going to the office. You know what I'm saying? Big business. I'm talking about business. But one more thing I wanted to talk about. The innovation right now, and the reason why I'm talking about diabetes so much is because I've been able to control it. And I've been diabetic. That's another thing. With all other shit, I've also been diabetic since I'm 15. And let's say I was a crackhead and I had some of this crack. And I'm like, it's the best crack I ever had. Nothing gets me higher than this crack. It's the best shit ever. And whoever gets it, I'm not buying it unless it's that. That's what this insulin is that I use now. It's called Afrezza, and it's an inhalable, fast-acting insulin. So where insulin usually through the needle takes about an hour and a half to start to work, this shit literally takes 15 minutes, get your sugar where it has to go, and then it's out your body in an hour. So there's no lows. So I can control it. So now that I'm good at it, I can teach it. But that's the innovation and shit, and
that's what the diabetes
network is. Right? It's about controlling teaching and lifestyle questions. I have questions, so I get answers too as well. It's just all the questions that a diabetic has. 1 out of every 3 people are going to be diabetic in the next 19 years. Shit is like that. And this is it right here. Cool. It's inhalable insulin. Do that. So instead of taking a shot,
man, a lot of people know about the inhalables right now.
No.
Is that big?
That's crazy. Nobody knows about it. That's why if I was you, get it on the stocks now. Trust me. Because not many people know about it. But that's what's crazy. But I'm really diabetic. So boom, I just took it.
Oh wow.
No needle. It's not. It looks cool, right? You want something? You know what I mean? Like you want to pass it. You know what I'm saying? It's like that kind of thing. We talk about like being a diabetic means living a healthy life. So whether you're diabetic or not, it's relatable. That's why we have the cooking and then all that. Then doing the research, we were like, ew, meat is disgusting. So we went vegan or water-based, plant-based. So we're plant-based now, but we just teach, working out, healthy lifestyle, education, happy. You see, you walk around my crib, there's nothing but puppies around. Beautiful people. And beautiful views. You know what I mean? Like, dog, water. Think about where you was at for 3 years. And think about being able to, you must love life right now. You must be like, fuck that.
Everything appreciated.
What? You love like air. Like, you know what I mean? Every time I've been locked up for the short periods, when I get out, I'm like, oh, I'm hugging the ground. I'm like, nobody likes their freedom. That's priceless. And that's what independence is.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? So why put yourself in a jail if you don't have to? Mentally, and which is most important.
And that's what's crazy. Most of the world lives in a prison that they've already created for themselves.
They created for themselves. They got the key. You can throw it out. But on that note, I just love shit. Thank you, man. Appreciate you listening.